fucking like New Year's Eve, they're like, see you next year. Those people should get set on fire.
Absolutely. I love those guys. Like leave work on like the 30th of December. They're like, see you next year.
I love one of those
guys. You walk into work on January 2nd. Walk into work January 2nd. Hey man, I haven't seen you since last year.
I hate that. I hate that. You know when you hear like people that get sodomized to death with like a pool cue? Like that to me is probably the worst death ever.
Really?
Yeah. Well, hold on. Let's start this. We'll talk about the worst death ever. Look at that. We had no topic. And now
we have topics everywhere.
New intro. We have a warning from my child.
Oh, boy.
Warning. My dad and his friends are total idiots. Like they can barely wipe their own butts. Listening to them will only make you dumber.
It's party time, baby.
Dude, she said it's over now. She said the fucking show. I don't give a fuck that I know she was reading that off a piece of paper.
Dude. She handled that shit like a fucking absolute pro. She read it a couple times and she's like, I think I can do it in a better voice. And I'm like, okay, do it, like whatever. And she's like, okay, I need this. She was like giving me fucking studio commands. And then that's a bit, I mean, she's in second grade. I think she read that pretty good for second grade.
Dude, she read that very, very, very well.
It was very funny. But whatever. Yeah, I do think that the worst death you could have is getting forcefully sodomized with like a broom handle or some sort of large phallic object that's way beyond the size of like just a good Thursday night.
Speaking of that, we discussed what happened in London today.
Oh yeah. And
we tried to call him, but I wouldn't answer the phone.
Allegedly.
No, he didn't answer. But
well, what allegedly happened to him?
Oh,
but what he probably allegedly let happen, allegedly, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know where to put allegedly, but I'm just I sprinkle it in like
I don't know. Yeah, I use
mushrooms in an omelet.
I use that liberally.
There it is. You did it. Now, can you say liberal arts?
Nope, I cannot.
Who needs to? Stupid degree anyways.
Well, you need to occasionally, but I still can't say that. I don't, man, I don't know if I could handle that. Like getting sodomized with a broomstick. Like a guy at work made a joke. Somebody a boss gave him some shit one day. He's like, why don't you just stick this broom up my ass? And while I'm working, I can sweep the floor at the same time. And I laughed because it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But I'm like, could you really put... It got brought up today at the bar. I'm like, bro, my finger has gone through the toilet paper and I got like a knuckle. Slipped in.
Yeah.
And I was very, very uncomfortable with that.
I was getting catered to once by a lady and she slipped and she punched me in the asshole and I came 3 times. Like no joke. 3.
Like the knuckle? Like
yeah.
Knuckle punch.
I'm not saying there was penetration. I'm just saying that I wouldn't have been mad.
But you're not saying there wasn't.
I'm not saying there wasn't either.
Are these the right ones?
I don't know.
Yep.
I hope it's fucking the shit that Hitler took in the bunker.
Me too.
So now I saw a video of a guy that his parachute didn't open.
Thanks, Albo.
That'd be pretty bad.
Yeah.
But why would you jump out of an airplane? Or would you? I won't.
I thought about doing it to get rid of my fear of flying. That's the only reason I thought about doing it.
Man,
you know, sometimes if you're afraid to perform on stage, you just got to fucking do it. By no means am I like Jerry Seinfeld, but like when it came time to like perform in front of people or stuff like that, like I knew if I could get past the first couple seconds, the the energy would get me past the fucking fear, that kind of shit.
Like, I don't know if I could. I mean, we both know that we both have insane anxiety about flying, period.
It's really an anxiety about needing to be in control. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah, let's call it that. We both know that for 100%. Plus the fact that as much as we understand how planes fly and 400-ton cruise ships float when a rock doesn't, cool.
I still don't get it.
I still don't quite get it. And you can call us dolts or idiots or retards or fucktards or whatever. That's great. I still don't quite understand planes. And I'll tell you, the biggest plane that freaks me the fuck out are the ones with the engines on the tail.
Oh, yeah.
I literally think that thing's just supposed to go up and just smash into the fucking ground every time.
I don't get any of that. Get any of that.
So that is a huge anxiety, and heights scare me.
Yes.
In general, like we both shared crazy videos of guys like riding mountain bikes down a fucking cliff.
I can't do it. I can't, like, dude. I will
bungee jumping and shit. Forget it, man.
Here's my trick. If I'm ever trying to take a dump where I have to be kind of like expeditious about it, right? That means fast, right?
Well, let's just go with it being
Because I think like expeditions are kind of slow because they're Fords and they're big, but I don't know. But if I have to be fast taking a dump and I can't, let's say I got a hanger, like a clinger, I'll pull up one of those videos where a guy's like hanging on the side of a building by like two fingers, and shit just falls out of me. It's like a pudding run, I don't know why, but that's my trick. I get back sweat, my palms get sweaty. I'm like Eminem, and just river of poo.
Spaghetti.
Yes.
I and there's people that just like it doesn't faze them in the least. There's no way I will never bungee jump. I will never go on one of those crazy swings. I just watched a guy today on Twitter did something. He jumped off this fucking cliff and just fell. And they swung out like forever. I mean, it was beautiful. Looking at the scenery, is a waterfall.
Sure.
And it was so great and shit. No way, man. I would have just covered that forest in poo.
Well, so here's the thing.
I can't do it. And I don't care how much money you offer me to get over my fear.
Sure.
Ain't happening. I'm not doing it.
Well, yeah, there's a point where like fear becomes psychosis, right?
Yeah.
And that's where I get when I get like freaked the fuck out. It's not even fear anymore. I've been afraid of a lot of things. But like if you said there's a 20% chance opening this door that there's going to be a monster on the other side, I'd be afraid, but I still open the fucking door.
Yeah.
I just would.
And when do you open the door? With your non-dominant hand.
Yeah, and just ready. Like,
ready to fucking knock that monster out if he's there.
But it's going to miss a tooth or so. For some fucking reason, man, like when I get fucking jittered, it's like legit psychosis type shit. It's not even like, it's not fear. It's like, this plane's going to fucking go down, whatever the fuck. I will tell you this. Kyle and I were flying to Mexico, and the girls were sitting with each other, and Kyle and I are next to each other. And the second, when you're next to somebody you're flying with and they're afraid of flying as well, and then you feed off your dick fucking bullshit energy with each other. Kyle loves to fly. I think he just loves, like, he's like this. He's fucking,
he's that cunt that sits in the front row of the roller coaster.
He loves it. He's good at it. Yeah. God bless him.
Fuck you, Kyle.
I'm in the middle. Kyle's on the aisle because he needs to be on the aisle because it's Kyle, and that's just how he is. Yeah. Goose. And I'm next to this lady that the second the cabin doors shut, which is always my time to start panicking, this bitch is white knuckling it. If I move, she's like, she's freaking out. And so I start freaking out. And Kyle goes, do you like Jack Daniels? I'm like, no. He's like, cool, I'm going to just keep ordering Jack Daniels. And so we got fucking annihilated. So halfway through this flight, the fucking bells go off, and the pilot's like, it's going to get fucking weird. So this lady goes from white knuckling to her hands ripped apart, bones came out of her fucking hands, and she shit and pissed all over herself. And I ended up, Kyle and I were just doing shots of Jack Daniels. Best flight ever. And it was the worst flight I took. ever in my life. We didn't know if we were going to make it. But I was like, at this point, Jack Daniels, let's go.
On the way home from our honeymoon in Aruba, I literally almost shattered my wife's kneecap because I was in such a panic. Because as we took off, everything started shaking. Because we took off, obviously, and I didn't understand how this worked, but planes take off into the wind to help with the lift. Again, not understanding how fucking planes work. But anyhow, we flew and got into the wind, and we were up 1,000 feet, whatever, and the plane's shaking. And I almost ripped her fucking kneecap off. She says that she had a bruise on her knee for like a week after we got home. And that you've been to Vegas.
Yeah.
Cocksuckers take off, headed west into the wind.
Yeah.
And then they fucking fly at like 600 feet. And they just cruise around the strip and tilt the plane so everybody can see Vegas. Oh, we're leaving.
Sure.
Fuck you. Get that thing in the air and let's go.
Dude, you want to the worst flight?
I'm like, fuck off. And it's just rattling as we're turning into the wind coming from fucking California to the West Coast. And the plane is shaking. And I'm like, we are going to fucking die. I just left the happiest place on earth and I'm going to fucking die. And then all of a sudden he's like, whoosh. And we're up in the jet stream, 500 miles, 27 miles an hour, and we're home in 4 hours. Fuck you. Just get this thing moving.
I took a red eye out of San Francisco one time. And, San Francisco's a weird city anyways. The airport's kind of weird to get to and whatever. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But you take off at night over the Pacific. And you goddamn almost hit Hawaii before you fucking turn back around. Like, I'm afraid of two things. Flying, number one. Well, three things. Flying, black bears, black guys, and fucking dark water.
Oh.
Dark water scares me. I saw Titanic.
See, now, here's the thing, though. I've been on a bunch of different trips. It's only been like 5 hours has been my longest flight. I think Vegas is 4.5, 5-ish. And when I went to Aruba, that was the longest flight. It was like 5.5 hours. But you go to New York City, you take off, and they got the fucking video thing, and you can see where your plane's going and wind speed and all shit. And you're literally out over the water.
Towers, you're good.
You're out over the water. I'm like, all right, I'm good here. The engine stall. He can fucking float this thing down, sully that shit into the ocean.
Sure. Absolutely.
And I think I'll be okay. Rather than that thing just fucking falling down and smashing into a mountain or a field, whatever.
Well, here's the thing. What would you rather Okay, so we start off by talking worst deaths. I think plane crash is not the worst death.
I think it is.
Dude, here's the thing. Okay, let me get all zen with you, okay? A lot of times we fear things because we fear remembering the feeling. But if it's a minute and then you're dead, you won't even feel it. So there's nothing to be afraid of because once you're dead, you won't feel it.
Okay, so
this is
in
why
that
I think
whole
about
minute,
suicide all the time.
That whole minute,
sure,
is just the worst thing ever.
Sure.
Like all these people that I've ever
could you start just fingering the cheerleaders from Arizona State University?
Nobody says finger me as this plane is fucking dropping 1,000 feet per second into a fucking mountain. I know they're not.
That's not reported in any black box.
Yeah,
the pilot doesn't go. The pilot's going, engine 2, whatever, landing gear, whatever. Not Daryl's back there just double gunning chicks.
No.
Everything smells like burnt hair after a plane crash. You can't smell all the pussy on people's hands.
Everybody's into the crash position thinking that they're going to survive. This thing is screaming at Mach 1 straight down in the ground. And by the time the fucking masks fall,
yeah,
you're already dead. You're dead before you can
Okay.
put one on.
So you know the
And you're
plane's
dead.
going down.
Yep.
Crash
Fuck it.
position is head down between the legs. You're next
No.
to an impossibly hot chick that you have a good rapport with. You're not going to try?
No.
You know you're going to die.
And what is she going to do? Punch you in the face because she's trying to get in the crash position.
You're going to keep your head up and put her head in your lap.
No, not happening.
As a gentleman.
No.
I don't get
That's
it.
happening on the flight to Vegas. Once you hit cruising speed and the thing goes beep, beep, and the seatbelt sign goes off, that's when you start fingering chicks and getting blowjobs.
I was flying back to Buffalo one time.
Really?
My
From
girlfriend
where?
was from Raleigh. My girlfriend was going to pick me up. And I was next to this girl that the second the plane took, she must have been on E or something, but she was like sexually, what, you know, like girls can do things with their fucking legs where you're like, I think she's jacking off with her legs. I don't fucking know. She was leg jacking.
Kegels.
Yes,
Kegels.
she was. Yeah, but she was like maybe 22. Like, I don't know. Maybe nowadays 22-year-olds are like, I need fucking the Benoit balls or whatever, a fucking coat hanger and 2 Smurfs and what, I don't know what they put up there. Sorry, I smoked a lot of weed before we started.
So is this similar to your flight home? Was it similar to your flight to Vegas 2 years ago?
I could have had sex with both women on the flight in Vegas. No questions asked.
Your text as you were leaving Raleigh on your way to Vegas,
but
progressively got more intriguing, and I really wanted to fly out and catch the same plane you were on, and I wanted to mid-air switch planes.
Yeah, but I
was already in Vegas.
Yeah, and I'm married, so I was like, hey, it's cool.
Sure, what that has anything to do with?
I probably should have been like, if I would explain the situation accordingly, Tanya would have been like, obviously, you have to. Obviously. They were, I'd never done Adderall ever. They were, what's up, Phil?
What's up, Phil?
They were, this bitch opened up her bag. Her carry-on was 100% fucking airplane bottle shots and Adderall.
It's literally like Alan from The Hangover on a plane.
So we played a game of checkers. No, we played a game of 21. They had a mini card deck, like, the little
cards. Yeah.
Menu. So we're playing mini 21. And if you won a hand, you had to do a half of an Adderall. And if you lost a hand, you had to chase it with a shot of vodka. And we played like 18 hands. I was fucked out of my mind on Adderall and so goddamn drunk. And then they finally cut us off because the girl tried to stand up and she fell down and she stood up and I think she blacked out and she hit her head on the fucking front seat ahead of us. And they took her bag away and they're like, it is a little trick you can do.
No more drugs for you.
Yeah. they're like, oh, so you know the trick? You're like, yeah, I researched but they were able to talk. Adderall's like this, especially with drinking. You say the first 8 words like a goddamn pro. And then your brain goes, talk about conspiracy theories instantly. Really throw. And then you start talking about the fucking Kennedy assassination and all this other shit. And they're like, okay, you're too fucked up to do anything you're supposed to do. And then they take it away from you. But we had, I'm not kidding, 6 shots each. And the girl requested me as a friend on Facebook, which I still have not accepted. And she's 110 pounds and pretty cute. And they were making me chase. You
got out of the cab at the hotel and
dude, I'm hitting on 17, so I'd have to do more Adderall. And the Adderall's mad at me. That's in my brain because Adderall is making me good at math.
Yeah,
mathematically speaking, this is a bad call. What the fuck do I know?
You're like, you got out. You're like, dude, that flight was a great season. And same thing on my flight. The stewardess could not get through the seatbelt thing because the plane was so fucking out of control. People were so jacked up. And the guy next to me, bought the whole entire plane drinks without anybody knowing. And I had, obviously, like fucking 84 mini bottles because I learned how to sneak them through. Thanks, TSA.
Up your ass.
No. But the best part about that is you got to crack those things open before you get on the fucking plane. That way they don't go,
yeah.
And everybody looks over.
Apparently fucking flight attendants and fat, annoying people are the only people that can hear on a plane. If you've ever been on a fucking plane and someone turns to you and goes, not where you're going, because obviously you're going where the fucking plane's going, asshole. But like they start talking. Like, so what do you do? I can't hear on a plane.
Dude, my ears get so plugged. I need fucking my ears bleed when we start landing. As soon as the plane starts to come down, I found out. I think your wife told me to take Sudafed.
Yeah.
So I popped the Sudafed like about an hour beforehand, and I started chewing like gum and candy and swallowing a shit. Yeah. And like I said, that trip to Vegas, I was right up front because that guy I was with had no leg, thankfully. And I got all the leg room because he didn't have a leg, so I got his leg room.
Hey man, you're gonna use the
but I was talking to the stewardesses and I was telling them, like, I fucking hate this shit. I go, my ears hurt so bad, and they're giving me tips. I'm like, I got Sudafed. My buddy's wife's a pharmacist. She said this should help. And I got hard candy and I got gum. And they're like, these are all good things.
Sure.
She goes, it might not work. I don't know. It helped, but I still land and I still can't hear out of one of my ears for a day.
Yeah.
24 hours.
I'm in the same boat. Same boat.
I'm like, that's why I hate fucking flying. I hate it.
Yeah. But, I want to go to places. Like, it's my dream to go to the outdoor fucking hot tubby place in fucking Iceland.
Yeah.
See the fucking Aurora Borealis and fucking, I don't know, jack off some fucking Vikings. I don't know, whatever.
Krista wants to go to Hawaii at some point. And I said, that's
know what? I just watched.
It's got to be it's got to be Brooklyn Decker.
Brooklyn Decker is like, and then, but at the end, you kind of understand why he goes with Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
Well, Jennifer Aniston, that lilac dress, she's got no fucking. I mean,
when she gets down to her bikini at that waterfall,
just jacked to the tits.
But I said, listen, I says, from here to San Fran or LA or wherever the fuck you go, I go, that's great. We're staying there for a day because after that flight, I'm not getting on another plane to fly another 6 hours to Hawaii. And it happened.
Yeah, right.
I need to acclimate myself because I hate flying and I'm just not doing 13 hours of flight in 24-hour period.
Okay, so here's my pitch.
We gotta go out there and spend a day, and then we can go to Hawaii. Then we can go out there and spend a week, 8 days.
How long does it fly from fucking I think you fly from LA to Hawaii, right? To Maui or some shit?
Yeah, you go to San Francisco, LA, whatever it is right there, Sacramento, and then you go out.
How far is the flight time-wise from leaving California, let's just say, to fucking Hawaii? To me, it's like 45 minutes.
No, it ain't, dude. It's hours.
Why are they even our country then?
I don't know.
All the guys have
just San Diego to Hawaii.
Fucking look like The Rock. Definitely not me. I'm saying three and a half. I'm saying 3 hours, 50 minutes.
How long is a flight from Hawaii to San Diego? 6 hours and 9 minutes.
What the ever-loving fuck? No.
Yeah, that's what I said, dude. I got to break that up. There's no way I'm flying 6 hours to San Diego.
There's a Rainforest Cafe in San Antonio. We could take Krista to.
And getting on another plane and going another 6 hours over the fucking dark water.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
My breath. This is great. Yeah, it's 6 hours from San Diego, from the coast.
It has nothing to do with the temperature. It has everything to do with how fucking hammered you are. Your breath is just straight onions right now.
No, it ain't.
So how's the beer out of the can? I'm telling you, I'm suspecting it's tolerable.
It's okay. It is. It's tolerable. I wish it was bottles. I gotta talk to my mom. If you're gonna buy me
I'll text your
beer
mom.
like this,
I'll square it away. I
should have called my mom. I didn't call my mom. I haven't talked to her lately.
She says you should call her more.
Whatever. But
she would send me slutty pictures when she's feeding her turtles.
And that's the whole thing too. Like we're talking about going to the ice hotel and shit.
Yeah.
That fucking flight's a cunt. That's no easy flight either.
I know.
And the worst part is going there, you're going back in time.
Yeah.
No. How's that work? When you're going
forward.
west to east, that's when you get jet lagged. Like you get jet lag coming home from Vegas, whatever. Going out, you have no problem.
Sure.
It's when you come home is when you get jet lag.
Here's
so
the thing.
like when you're going like here to fucking Finland, that's when you get jet lagged.
Right.
So you need to make your trip a couple days longer because you need to acclimate when you get there a day or so to deal with all that shit. But coming home is no problem.
You got to follow the Sarah Baumgarten thing. She tries to take night flights so she can sleep. And then when she lands, she just gets hammered until it's afternoon. Which
I don't.
She also was high in fucking wherever they can smoke weed, and she got hit by a car
Amsterdam?
on a bike.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I got hit by a car in Vegas.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Was I
right
there?
on the strip? No, it was my first trip there with Dean and Hobbs and Charlie and Grant. We were walking across the fucking strip, and I was hammered. I was literally dragging a bag that I got from the Nike store with my Jordans and all my shit, and I crossed them over. And somebody went through the intersection, and then they realized they shouldn't be there, and then they backed up and fucking backed right into me. And I punched the fuck on. Yeah, I punched the dude's fucking trunk. We all yelled at him, and that was about the end of that. But I got hit by a car in Vegas.
I want to go other places. Like I want to go to. I saw Hurley's pictures of the Rome and all that kind of stuff, and I think that'd be fucking awesome. I've always wanted to go to Paris. Just from the Hemingway years and all that kind of shit. But there's still so much of America I haven't seen yet either. Like I want to go to Colorado. I haven't been to Colorado.
Yeah.
And like let's say we go to Denver, we could catch a fucking hockey game, right? We could catch a football game and baseball all in the same weekend, probably.
Yeah.
And
see some cool shit.
Yeah. And go buy weed. Go to the coast, have a few laughs. Hot springs. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Get some chaps. Fucking find
we
Laura
were just talking about that shit. Like Chris is watching Real Housewives shit, and they go on this girls trip to like fucking Helsinki. It's cool. You're seeing all this cool shit that these broads are doing because they have endless supplies of money. And she goes, "Would you ever do that?" I said, "In a heartbeat. I'd love to go to a place like that. I don't really care."
Right.
And we were talking about, obviously my biggest hang up is the food. Go to some foreign place like that. I'm very, very picky eater. So that would be my hang up. But other than that, man, I would love to go see some of this shit.
Like a dumpster.
It's not true. It's in front of the dumpster.
Oh, okay.
But anyhow, that would be my thing. But I said, we're just
but there's
talking
McDonald's
now.
in fucking every country, right? There's McDonald's in Russia.
No. I can't do that.
You can have some McNuggies in Helsinki.
Yeah. I just want to go to like we were talking about, like going to Santorini.
What is that? Where?
Over in fucking Europe somewhere.
Santorini sounds like if you dip your finger in honey and then sugar and then finger a butthole. And then you lick your finger.
Then we're down with that. Okay.
Yeah, it's called a Santorini.
Yeah. But I would be like down to go all because we watch this Below Deck yachting show.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And they go to all these crazy places.
Actually,
and I'm like,
me, you, and Aubrey were watching that, and we were hammered.
Yeah. I'm like, I would definitely go to these places. And she's like, all right. I mean, it's 2022 now. Fuck off. We're getting ready to plan our Vegas trip next year.
I'm in.
Okay. And then the year after, she's already talking to the couple that we met on our honeymoon. We're all going back to Aruba.
Cool.
For our 10-year anniversary.
Man.
You're not in.
Just might be in.
It'd kind of be weird if you showed up.
Well, maybe I'll just be the scuba instructor.
Yeah.
I'll be I'll be what's Paul
Me
Rudd's name?
scusi.
Yeah.
What?
What's Paul Rudd's name in fucking PLP?
Along Came Polly?
Yeah, no, and forgetting Sarah Marshall. Anyway, sorry. No, do more, but do less. Do more. Looks like you got a lot of pain behind those eyes. Yeah,
I kind of want to go to a cool place every once in a while.
I legit thought about Hawaii. I was laying in bed Tuesday, sick as fuck.
Because you have the Rona again.
I don't.
You do?
No, I was like, "Is this Rona?" And it's like, "No."
It is.
Like, what is this? It's like, it's not Rona. Well, so New Year's. One of the last things I remember on New Year's is I was peeing in this bathroom in this castle, and these old ladies, like the door, if you like pull on the handle once, it's locked. Obviously, it's a single occupant bathroom, locked. If you pull on it twice, the door's like, "I tried, dude," and it opens. So I'm pissing 3,000 beers out. It's my third piss, but I'm like gone. And fucking Rose and Blanche fucking bust in the fucking bathroom. And I'm like, "Hey, I'm in here, whatever." And they're like, "It's nothing we haven't seen before, Sonny."
What's up, new guy?
I'm like, "When in Rome." And so then one of the ladies goes to the sink and she's washing her hands and she's watching me pee. And then they're late 60s. And the other lady starts giving me a shoulder rub while I peed.
I swear to God, you end up in the weirdest places.
Yeah. And I didn't feel objectified because, well, whatever. They're having a good time. They were hammered, the old ladies. Had you and I walked into a place where an old lady was peeing, we would have never forced our way into the bathroom and rubbed her shoulders while she peed. You know, like we would just never do that because we're not fucking assholes. But I'll tell you what, next time you got to pee, have Krista rub your shoulders. It is delightful. But then, of course, I woke up fucking Tuesday with some sort of goddamn disease. Fucking Betty White just died and gave me a back rub while I took a monstrous piss. Whatever. This is the second time I told that story, and both people were like, "That sounds like something that would happen to you."
And that's the craziest shit, though. It would happen to you.
Yeah.
You put yourself in very, very subjectable places often.
But on accident. Like when I was like, "Hey, there's a place with karaoke. Let's go to karaoke." It turns out to be a karaoke where they have a lot of people with Down syndrome at karaoke. Best night ever.
You might or might not have been dressed like Payne Stewart.
Yes, but was it the best night ever?
Yeah, it's up there.
It was one of the greatest nights of our lives. To see
you can tell this story, and we've told this story numerous times, even on this
probably
show.
On this podcast, yeah.
Yes, and you just can't grasp.
We saw
how that night happened.
We saw a 390-pound woman who was dating a 90-pound
gentleman.
And I would say that the woman did not have the Downs. She had something. But the 90-pound man had the Downs. And they sang
their tits
Broken
off
by Evanescence.
I was going to say, it was one of those bands, Evanescence, yes. And
they
fucking
crushed it.
Crushed it. Yep.
To the point where we're like...
We literally sat there and our jaws hit the floor. I'm like... And don't think that just because they had Down syndrome or whatever, that they're not people that...
We're team Downs.
Can function.
We're basically
society.
Honorary Down syndrome people.
But for fuck's sakes, they were drinking, and I wasn't sure that was allowed because they came from a group home. But anyhow, they fucking murdered every song they sang.
Yeah.
They were incredible.
Yeah. They were 10 times better than anybody else in there.
Yep.
And they were nicer. Like, let's say you go sing a song, everyone's cheering and high-fiving and shit like that. It was, but if I were to write that into a movie, let's say we wrote a movie and it never happened, but we wrote it into a movie, studio people would be like, there's no fucking way.
People don't believe this.
Number one, two not Downs people are going to sit down at a table in a place filled with Downs people, not recognize it, sign up for karaoke, all the while not recognize it. This is how not racist we are. Like, we're in a packed bar filled to the brim with people with a bus of people that had Down syndrome.
Buses.
And we didn't know.
No.
Like, everyone's so friendly. Why do they high five and clasp? Like my sister Sarah. But they crushed it. Thing. Yes.
But every song they sang was fucking incredible. And even when we got up there and sang a couple like mediocre songs before
we did Bismarcky, right?
Well, yeah, that was at the end when we killed that. Yeah. But we got done and we walked back to grab our beers and they were clapping and high-fiving us.
Yeah, high-fiving. Yeah.
They were into it. But then when I really wasn't sure what your fucking weird interpretive dance move was while you were laying on the ground, spinning around while we were singing a rap song. Did kind of jive, but
I let the music flow through me, Daryl. I just let it, like, I'm like a sex cobra.
Yeah.
I think Miles has a video. I'll try to get it from him. We did that loving feeling. I did the loving feeling with and for some reason, my move for that loving feeling, because I know the words, I don't need to look at the screen. I know all the words. So I'll just start randomly going up to people and sitting on their laps or like humping things. And I'll try to find it and put it on our Facebook page. But whatever. Anyways, Hawaii. Yeah. Here's my pitch though. Puerto Rico, kind of Hawaii, real close. Let's just do that.
I've been there. I was there for a day.
Was it nice or bad? You were there for a day.
We were in the nice part. But when we got off the airport or the plane, we got
shady as fuck.
We got into the cab, and the cab drove us down to where we had to get. I was going on a cruise with my ex before I met my wife. As we were driving through the ghetto, and he literally said, "Over here, this is the fucking worst part of town." He goes, "Do not ever get in a cab, a car, anything, and say you're headed to X, wherever we were." He goes,
right.
"Don't come here." He goes, "Where you guys are going was the south end, of the island and where the cruise ships were." He goes, "You guys are fine here," and he goes, "How long are you here?" I'm like, "Literally, the afternoon."
Sure, because
we got there way early, just in case our flight got fucked up, which it did because there was that was a fucked up trip too. We left New York City flying into San Juan, and our flight got delayed because some volcano exploded. All the fucking ash went up into the jet stream.
It happened to Owen too on his fucking on his honeymoon.
We couldn't fly. Yeah. They like we can't fly through it. We gotta wait for it to pass. He was in Europe or some shit. What?
Some volcano erupted in Iceland or some shit, and they couldn't fly because she was in the jetway or some shit.
Yep, we got delayed like 7 or 8 hours. We had to wait for it to fucking dissipate.
Crazy.
So we ended up, headed down, and we got to San Juan, but we still had some time, so we kind of ventured around. It was kind of cool. We got down to the south end of the island, and there was like a fort, like a bunker and shit that was used in one of the wars.
Sweet.
And whatever. So we got to kind of walk around it, and that part of San Juan was cool. I don't speak much Spanish. I can pretty much get myself a beer into the bathroom and say thank you and hello. It's about it.
Dame la cerveza.
Yeah. More cerveza, por favor.
Nice.
Yeah, that's about it. So, but it was cool. And we went to there was a fucking menu on this window. And my girlfriend's dad, who's kind of Puerto Rican, I guess, he knew he could speak a little better and get us around, and family was from there, apparently.
So
Puerto Rican. So he read this menu. He's like, "All right, we're going in." And we walk in, and it's like a fucking clothing store. There's like clothes and
Did you
trinkets
get some
and
Paco
shit.
Rabanne?
And walk in, and this lady's like,
Fucking
you know, can I help you? Or like, he's like, starts, and she's like, oh, come on. And we walk through the fucking store. She opens the back door. We walk into this like open air diner. There's like tables and shit, but there's fucking vines and shit. There's lizards everywhere, birds all over the place. And they're like, oh, sit down. And there's bird shit all over.
Well, yeah, when in Rome.
So we ordered food. It was the best meal I've ever fucking had in my life. And there's fucking lizards like running across chairs and shit. And I'm just like, it was the coolest fucking place ever.
You know what we need to do with multiple. Well, yeah. What I recommend is you go to Miami, you fly into Miami, you rent a car, and you drive from Miami down to Key West. And you stop at all these little, like all the little tiny islands. It's not like this, like, it's not like you're driving.
Islands?
Yeah. All the keys, right? So like Key West is like the furthest key, but there's Key Largo. There's all these other fucking keys. And as you're driving through, obviously people live in these places and stuff like that, but there's these little tiny offshoot little bars where you can like go and feed fucking manatees with like grass and shit. And like, you know, a meal that would be in Miami that would be $80 is like $4 there.
Yeah.
And it's the coolest. And then you get to your destination, fucking Key West, which is like
why is it Key West when it should be Key South, right?
I think it's so they all kind of tail off to the west, right? So it's the westernmost key, even though it's the southernmost part of the United States.
Got it.
Geography, as they call it in there.
Geography.
But dude, it's like you're in Cuba. There's
a place everywhere. I wouldn't mind going.
Yeah, dude, it is great. And we would probably need chaperones. We'd probably need people there to, you know, okay, we're gonna go this way. You guys, like, you know, like we can hang out for like 4 hours, and me and you can't be around each other. But there's an all nude bar.
See, I just want to go there and drink like rum.
Yeah.
And smoke cigars.
Yeah. Done.
Just go.
Done. You can rent little bikes and you just fucking like, you're like Owen Wilson in fucking, you know, whatever, Wedding Crashers or something.
Wedding Crashers, like, when him and Rachel McAdams go for the little bike ride there.
You're doing that, you know? Yeah. There's roosters fucking everywhere. It's cool. But the food is fucking great, man. No matter where you go, the food's good. Yeah. Now there's some like, obviously it's one of the most touristy places in the fucking country, but like, so if you go to the beach at sunset or the pier at sunset, you're in the southernmost part of the United States. It's sunset. It's just packed to the fucking tits. And that's kind of dumb, but there's still bars that are in play that Hemingway used to drink at. Hemingway's house is there. I mean, Hemingway used to go out in his boat and drop dynamite to sink fucking German U-boats in the fucking 40s. Like the most gangster move of all time. So of course you got to go drinking there, but you can also go to a bar, you go upstairs, and its clothing is optional. So I start taking off all my clothes.
Which is literally every bar you've ever been at.
Nobody else in my party wants to remove even a cufflink. So I got down to my underwear and I'm like, I'm not going to go any further if I'm going to be the only naked person doing this. But it was cool, man. It was fun. Key West is great.
Yeah, I've never been. I think I was at Disney, whatever, in Florida when I was 18 on my senior trip.
Oh, okay.
And then the only other time I was in Florida was coming back from my cruise. We had to fly into Fort Lauderdale, Miami, somewhere, and we got hung up there little 4, 5, 6 hours, whatever. But other than that, that's the only time I've ever been to Florida. But I see a lot of people go to Key West, and it looks like it'd be great. I had a couple friends go to Cuba, and just seeing the old cars that are still in just phenomenal shape and in the pastel colors and the music and shit. I'm like, I would love to go there. All the Canadians go there, used to go there all the time before we were allowed to go there.
You can go there.
And they were like, and now they're like, oh, the fucking Americans are going to ruin everything. Fuck you, Canada. You guys are a bunch of cunts.
We ruin everything, but you come here to shop. Go fuck your
and leave
mother.
all your shit in our parking lots.
Yeah. The nicest yet most untidy people of all time. You can fly on like a fucking shitty ocean plane from Key West to Cuba, and it was like $90 round trip.
Yeah.
But like you can only go, they land and you get like 60 minutes in Cuba, and then you got to get back to the thing, and that's a whole. And I know I would have fucked that up, and I'd be in fucking Cuban jail, or Fidel Castro would use me as a fucking. Did you just hear about
that? There was a chartered flight out of Canada that went to Mexico.
No,
and it was like some sort of. I don't know if I want to say it was Instagram influencers or whatever.
They all took their masks off and started doing weird shit.
They were vaping and shit on the fucking plane.
Oh well.
Which dead I could absolutely say fuck you, you're done. But they weren't wearing their masks. They were drinking. They were just up and partying and shit. But it was a chartered flight. It was only that group that was on this plane. It wasn't like it was just a.
So was that an FAA issue?
Here, and you had all these old people going to Vegas to gamble, and you had 30, 40 young kids that were partying and shit. This was a chartered flight of X amount of people. They're all going down there. It was all booked through an agency and shit. But I can see if you're vaping on a plane, fuck you.
That's got to be some sort of fun.
How'd you get that? Yeah, 100%. But I mean, these guys were out of their seats. They were dancing. They weren't wearing their masks and shit. But I'm like, it's a chartered flight. Fuck you, man. That's a private plane. Who's going to enforce
What are we flying private for if we can't fucking really? We're going to fly private, so I have to fucking wear a fucking goddamn.
Isn't that the whole point of flying private? Is to not follow the rules that the rest of the peons have to follow? Yeah. So all that shit was going on, and they got down to Mexico, and then they got left there. Literally, all the Canadian-based flights back home were like, "You're not going. You're not going. You're not going," and they were like. They kind of got fucked, like as to how they're gonna get home.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I just read about it yesterday while I was at work.
If I was like fucking Mark Cuban or something, you know what I mean? Like if I had my own plane, I'd go fly, pick those motherfuckers up, and drop them back off.
Yo, get in my plane.
What else are you gonna do?
Don't fucking vape, or we're gonna throw you out the emergency exit. Other than that, have fun. I thought that was the whole point of flying private, though. I mean, these guys, you sit there, and I remember back in the day listening to the guys that were smoking cigars, playing cards, gambling on playing NBA teams and shit.
Watch that Bulls documentary. Watch that fucking like Jordan smoking a cigar the entire time.
Yeah.
If he doesn't have a basketball in his hand, he has a cigar in his hand.
If you're sitting there flying private, that's the whole point. Vaping, dude, I don't care. Not on a plane, dude.
Here's the thing. And I'm not going to stick up for vaping. I won't. I'm fine with the vaping in general that is marijuana. I'm fine with the vaping that is straight up nicotine.
Not on a plane.
But if you got one of those fucking things where it looks like you could also power a goddamn like fucking hovercraft or something with it, and it leaves that plume of smoke and it smells like cotton candy, you fuck guys. Like, and I don't mean that in a bad way, because I know we have a couple friends here, fans that also fuck guys. Whatever. But if you're a straight guy and you got one of these fucking things, you're like, and it's just this plume of smoke, fuck guys, and that's fine. That's fine.
Not on a plane, though.
It's the 90s. You can do whatever the fuck
you want. I'm already with taking your mask off. I'm already with drinking. I'm already if somebody's got a fucking beer bong. And you're fucking in the aisle, beer bonging, having a great time on a fucking chartered flight. That is
your
just
fucking
you guys.
Frat boys. Fucking blowing plumes of smoke like the goddamn caterpillar in fucking Alice in Wonderland. Get over yourself. I fucking hate that shit. It's always guys that wear like fucking cargo shorts, affliction shirts, and they got the fucking big hoop goddamn earrings, and they're like, yeah, anyway, so the fucking government, blueberries, go fuck your mother. Literally,
And they're
go
the
fuck your
guys
mother.
that drive Subaru with
Sure,
14
yes.
spoilers
Yeah.
in the back of their car, and at a red light, the window rolls down, and there's just this fucking cloud comes out.
And
like,
again,
oh,
I
man.
love abusing things with chemicals. I love drugs. I'm all for all of it. But the presentation is kind of, fuck gays. It's
Yep.
kind of gay. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
But last I knew, those people were struggling to find a way home from Mexico. And they booked it through like an agency. There was a company that promoted this and helped them get there. So I haven't heard what happened from there. I saw it last night while I was at work, and I was like, holy fuck. And I clicked on one of the external links, and I saw the video, and it's hot chick. She puffs on her fucking jewel, blows this big cloud of smoke, and everybody's up and partying. I'm like, that's the kind of chartered flight I want to be on. Like, when we go to Vegas next year for our 50th birthdays, our group, I would love to charter one plane and get 60 of us on that fucker.
I would fly from here to there just to fly chartered with you guys. You know what I mean? Like to fly.
I want to look into that and see what it's going to cost to charter a plane from Buffalo to fucking Vegas.
I'd be down for that.
Just because it's going to be the one time in my life I'm probably ever going to do it.
Well, what you should do is see where you can fly where the chartered direct flight, because flying from Buffalo to there is going to be tough. So let's say you fly from like Buffalo to Des Moines, Iowa or some shit, and Des Moines, Iowa to fucking Vegas chartered is really cheap.
Yeah.
That's the move. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But whatever. I just don't. I'm a courtesy guy. You know, I hold doors.
100%. Yes.
You know, I'm a nice guy. Yeah. Someone drops their fucking scarf, I'll be like, hey, you dropped your scarf. You know, I don't like when you're sitting next to somebody and they rip a fucking big plume of smoke off their fucking header, and you're just like, you cunt. Yeah. I don't like that. Nope. I don't like that. Because I would never. I like cigars.
Yeah.
But even me, who most of the time when I go to the winery I go to, we're always outside. I'm like, I'm not going to go buy a cigar, bring it there, and then feel bad about smoking a big stinky ass cigar around people that might not like it.
Where are you smoking it?
Oh, definitely outside.
To the side?
Yeah, away from people. Yeah, away from people.
While even if you're talking to somebody, you take your big hit, you hold it in there and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I'm going the other way.
Yeah.
With it.
Next time you're ever around anyone, and I know you can't smell too well. So I'm like you're smelling eye dog here. But every time if you're ever around anybody that has those big plumes of smoke, you smell it'll be like cotton candy, but then guy cum. Like just like a hint.
When all
hint of
that
guy cum.
Shit started with those fucking vapes.
They were supposed to all die, right?
And I said it was a crutch. And people were, no, they're using them to quit smoking. No, they're using it as a crutch to smoke indoors. So as you're sitting there at the bar and people are vaping their fucking brains out, and I said, cut the fucking shit. They're like, why? It's just water vapor. No, motherfucker, that scented cocksucking bullshit bothers my contacts. Fuck you. Take that shit outside. And it almost came to blows over this shit.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't want your fucking plume of smoke. I don't give a fuck if you just blew a 4-minute smoke cloud and you're going to put it on Instagram. Fuck off with your shit. Get it outside. It doesn't bother anybody. It bothers me. Right there. Your cloud. That bothers me. Your cloud.
Well, this is straight up marijuana. So, because I'm a fucking man.
Fuck those goddamn weed, or not weed pens. I don't give a fuck. your jewels and your
I don't
fucking
so
vapes indoors.
I have
Get that shit out of here.
I have and Miles has one too. It's about this size. I think I think the one I have is like a jewel. It's like a
Pocket
disposable one. Yeah, yeah. And then you fuck it, and then you fucking throw it out.
Hand in the man card. I don't know what Phil's talking about.
No,
Elaborate.
if, like for the guys that big fucking like the.
Yeah.
But there's no noticeable even like what I just did with this is 300% more than the nicotine one that Miles has and the one that I have. Because I'm not like a cigarette smoker. I never have been. I think I've taken a drag off of one cigarette ever, but I like cigars.
I love cigars.
But when we started hanging out more and going out a lot of places, every once in a while, like someone would have like a fucking one of these nicotine vape pens. And if you're fucking hammered and you want to fucking right the ship a little bit, you take a little hit of that and you're just like, if you don't do it all the time, it's just like, whoa. And he's back in the game, everybody. So it's kind of like that movie Crank where that guy has to fuck all the time.
Oh, yeah. Save him.
Yeah. He's
He has
fucking
to hook his dick up to a car battery and then fuck.
So instead of me having to mouth fuck a snapping turtle to stay awake, I can just take a hit off a fucking nicotine pen. But the exhale is nothing. It's not. There's no smoke. It like half these fucking guys with their goddamn wallets attached to chains. When they exhale, it's like a goddamn. Is there a new pope?
Yeah.
Is there just a new pope? Cunts.
I hate that fucking shit. I really do. And I just hate it. I'm sorry. I just do. I mean, just take that shit outside. And I don't give a fuck how big your cloud is.
The whole goal. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
What the fuck, man?
The whole goal as a dad is to be like, I don't want my kid
to be
the one that has the carnival carny dad. You know? That's it. But when you show up with your Dave Matthews fucking sticker on the back of your goddamn Hyundai and you're pluming fucking raspberry like a goddamn cunt. Yeah, carnival.
I'm so glad we got back to using cunt more.
You know what? I was watching old videos today and I watched our Invention of Suction Cups video.
Dude, I have that saved on Facebook and I watched it about 2 weeks ago and I literally pissed my fucking pants.
And I was laughing hysterically. Yes, we were. Before we got jaded with our non-fame, we had hope, we had potential, we had momentum.
We
were young. So, yeah.
Holy fuck, that was just one of those off-the-cuff things, and god damn, was that funny.
Yeah, and it wasn't planned, which is the shittiest part because, like, I think if we planned it, we would have killed it. We would have
botched it.
We would have pet the rabbit too hard. It would have died.
Yeah.
But god damn it, we just kept
that was
out.
Literally probably the funniest episode that Two Dolts Podcast has ever put out.
And it was episode number 2. It was number 2.
The suction cup episode.
We rolled up in number 2.
Literally came out of fucking nowhere.
Smashed a homer. And after that, we've been chasing the dragon ever since, just complaining like old dumb men. We went from being funny, saying cunt too much, to
you can't say that. What do you mean, cunt?
Trump, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Who cares?
Holy shit. That's it. It's saved in my Facebook videos. It's like I threw like 3 videos saved on Facebook. One of them was like a crazy hockey goal, and the other one was a crazy hockey save, and the third one is that fucking episode.
So good. So good. We had a few fucking right in the beginning, man. Just fucking crushed it.
I mean,
but whatever.
I enjoy when we have topics because it kind of keeps us on point, but I also don't mind when we just kind of go off the grid a little bit, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I had an idea for an episode that I still think we should do. But, you know, if I hit pause now and then we do another one, that one will be funnier than this one because we're already primed. The pump's already primed, you know?
Yeah.
It's almost like we should like get together at 7:00 one day.
No.
Talk shit for like 30 minutes without doing anything. And then right when it gets rolling, and then hit go.
Yeah.
You know?
Hit the gas pedal then.
It's like you don't want bring your dog to the dog park sucks in the beginning because it's just smelling buttholes and fucking pissing in weird corners. But like half an hour to an hour, it's just right up running like a motherfucker, having the best night of its life. You know, you want that.
Yeah.
But shit, it's hard to turn this stuff on.
It is. And it was funny. We were just talking about that today, like with Hurley and everything, just before Krista showed up. And actually, she just got there when we were talking about it. I said, me and Bob were out, and Krista came with us. And I'm like, you know, you might say she's the third wheel, but she's been hanging with us because Biggie was talking about it.
She calls me her brother. I'm friends with her too.
And we have literally been a tripod since day one. You know, when we go out, she comes out with us and whatever. But that one day we went out drinking downtown and we kind of were bar hopping home. And she's like, you guys aren't even funny. You're not fun. I'm going home.
She was talking all the shit to us.
All the shit. And she literally brought the smoke and she's like, fuck you guys. And she left us.
Yeah.
And we ended up going out and we got hustled by a midget and had another one of the fucking marquee nights that we've had. And she was pissed that she missed it. But I'm like, you can't force it. It's got to come naturally. And it is what it is. But I mean, you hang out with us long enough, shit's going down.
Yeah. And to be honest, we put out probably what? I would say 4 hours a week, usually. We do usually 2 shows. Well, I would say 2 hours a week.
Yeah.
I would say an hour of that is tolerable.
Yeah.
But man, those moments are like fucking yee. I wish so. What I'm trying to figure out is how do we do an actual radio show where we can have people call in, we can play music, and we could, even if we say we're going to do it once a week, but make it a radio show, not a podcast, but it's going to be a podcast because that's the functionality that we have available. But like we can go live.
Yep.
We could, I think people can call into this. I think I can figure that out.
Yeah,
but,
that's not, yeah. I'm just the retarded drunk talent. So
I wouldn't say that. Olivia's like, so what does Uncle Daryl do? Like, you do all this, and what is he? I'm like,
click one button.
I'm like, he's opposite of me.
Yeah.
But was he? Well, I mean, I do all this, and you're recording a thing and whatever. Yeah, I never once said talent though. I just couldn't do it to myself.
Yeah. I can't.
It would have hurt me.
It was kind of a joke when I said it. But,
that would have hurt my feelings. No, he's the talent. I would have fucking set my computer on fire.
But he's retarded. It's party time, baby.
So my
Brady
own
hates,
like,
Brady hates when he hears that. He hates hearing himself right now. Right? Yeah, he's so pissed.
Oh, it's so funny.
I know.
The first couple times she did, I had something longer written. Hang on, I think I have it.
She said,
"Nice." I don't have it anymore. Fuck. I might have erased it.
That was a great intro. Like I said before, we got to change that chip from pooping to the panda.
Oh shit! Yeah. I'll get that. Yeah. I had this like long. It was I wanted it to sound like the Jackass warning in the beginning of every Jackass, like warning.
Yeah,
the sun's about it. But it was like the opinions expressed on this podcast by my dad and his friends don't matter because my dad and his friends are idiots. It was like this. It was like she recorded it all. She read it all. She read it all very well. And it was like 38 seconds. Our entire usual intro is 32 seconds.
Yeah.
So it's going to make it a minute long. I'm like, we can't do that. And then she was like, I think it said something about expectations in there, and she didn't know how to read that. And I'm just like, all right, let's just dumb it down. I'm like, let's go with words that you can read,
Idiot, retard.
Yeah. She's
my
like,
dad.
She's like, I knew you were going to say they could barely wipe their own butts.
Oh, that was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, she's great. She took so much pride in it. She's like, I can do it better. Just give me one more shot. I'm like, I will be here all night. Like, I love
I'm going to have Abo write one for us now.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Have her record it into Chris's phone and have Chris send me the audio file.
Yeah.
And then I'll add Abo in there and then we'll be good. And then I'll have Max jump in and it'll be a whole goddamn family affair. Bunch of fucking idiots. So I don't know.
What time is it? No, it's only 11:11. Make a wish, Mom.
I mean, I can stop right now. We can want to do one more?
I have beer.
All right, I'll stop right now. All right.
I don't even know how I got home today.
Krista got you. And then you went to Taco Bell and you pissed in the snowbank. Everything that you told me when you called me, you already told me 3 times today.
I'm so glad I remember. I do not remember calling you.
Like, because my dad's dead and because you're the way you are, I don't have to miss my dad. It's literally like I'm friends with my dad now.
I don't remember calling you at all.
Yeah, I know.
Hurley and I were playing darts against his brother and Biggie. We were 99.7% favorites to win. And those 2 cunts hit 6 bullseyes in a row in between 2 turns and absolutely rattled Hurley and I, and we ended up losing.
Yeah, so they had no choice but to hit bowls to close that out, so you guys couldn't close out.
They just couldn't miss. And then they racked up the points, and me and Hurley stood there and looked at each other.
So you're trying to point out on fucking 17s or some shit, and you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by then, we were way too far behind to catch up.
Yeah.
And it was literally, it shook us so bad. We
just That's a Biggie move.
What the fuck?
But here's the thing. Biggie is
methodical with that shit.
And he's a very smart guy.
Yes.
Like, mathematically speaking, he's a smart motherfucker.
Yeah.
His belief that cheese is healthy, not so smart.
Yeah. He had a fish sandwich. Cheese. He bought fish sandwich today.
Fried or not?
At Vinny's.
Fried?
We were all laughing because we saw the guy run across Clinton Street and down that side road to the creek.
Throw a line in the water?
Yeah. He's like, yeah, where's my fish sandwich? I'm like, fucker's coming back with it right now.
Goes to McDonald's, comes back. We have a Filet-O-Fish and a fucking
here's your bag of
brook
chips.
trout.
Uh-oh.
Gross.
But they were all Hurley had a birthday party, but it got canceled, so they ended up going to a going away party tonight.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, Biggie's like, yeah, I'm in. And they're trying to get me to go. I'm like, yo, Krista. I said, man, Biggie's getting a divorce, and Hurley's brother is like newly single and everything, and I need to be there. They're like, yo, we need Daryl to help us get through this. And she's like, the fuck you're going out there? I'm like, God damn it. Because she knows if it was me and Hurley, his brother and Biggie out tonight, she's like, fuck you. Like, I gotta do a podcast.
Yeah, you can put on these jeans that you can't take off. Like, you're gonna have to piss your pants and fucking. Well, we'll stop here. I'll grab a couple beers and we'll just do one more and whatever.
Yep.
So
I hope
5
we have
minutes.
a topic. 5 minutes. We'll be back. 5 minutes.
Yeah. Topic. I don't know. You think of a topic. I don't know. I did a lot today. What do you want from me? You think?
I got drunk.
All right. Today. Hit Facebook with a topic because you're more social media savvy.
But nobody sees my shit because I'm not part of Dolts Podcast because I'm a liability.
No. Put it on your own personal one and then tag me in it so I can.
Nobody sees it. I'm shadow banned. Every time I put Dolts Podcast, I tag the show and everything on Facebook, it gets shadow banned. Nobody sees it ever. It's annoying as fuck because I'm shadow banned.
I'm the same. I mean, no one sees my shit either. So
yeah, stupid, man. I hate it.
Well, we'll think of a topic in 2 minutes. Be back.
Yeah.
We'll be live again at 11:15 Eastern, or 11:20 Eastern.
Ooh, 4 minutes.
I know. You got to pee? Pee break.
No, I'm good.